In the final stretch of the biggest marathon in the state, a poor teen named Jalen was seconds away from changing his life. He could see the finish line. He could almost taste victory. But just ahead of him, the lead runner, a girl, suddenly collapsed. The crowd gasped. The cameras stayed fixed on the finish line, and in that moment, Jalen made a choice. He stopped. He ran toward her. He didn't think. He didn't hesitate. He gave up the race to help a stranger. No one clapped. No one even noticed. But 2 days later, a sleek black car pulled up to the broken curb outside his home, and what happened next changed everything. Jalen was just 15, but his eyes carried the weight of someone twice his age. He lived in a crumbling corner of the city where the paint peeled off every window frame and streetlights flickered like they were tired too. His mom worked 2 jobs, one at a diner, the other cleaning offices late into the night. His younger sister Ava battled constant health issues. Medication wasn't cheap, but skipping it wasn't an option. Jalen, he woke up before the sun, not to train, but to work. At 5 a.m., he delivered newspapers on foot, his old bike long since rusted out. Then, still breathless, he jogged to school, not because he wanted to, but because it saved bus fare. His shoes were torn at the soles, barely held together by duct tape and faith. His clothes were hand-me-downs from cousins he'd never met. But when Jalen ran, he felt free. For a few fleeting moments, he wasn't the boy from the broken street or the kid skipping lunch. He was just movement, power, hope. No one noticed, until the day Coach Ramirez watched gym class from the bleachers. Everyone else dragged their feet. Jalen? He ran barefoot. His stride was raw, untrained but fast. Faster than anyone else. After class, Coach Ramirez approached him. "You ever thought about training for real?" Jalen shook his head. "Ain't got time, sir. Gotta help at home." The coach didn't push, but the next day he showed up with a pair of worn-out sneakers, his own from years ago. "Not fancy," he said, "but they've still got miles left in them." Jalen hesitated. His mum was clear. No distractions. No nonsense, but when he told her that night, she didn't say no. "As long as your grades stay up and you don't miss your shifts," she said, folding laundry by hand. "If running makes you feel like you can breathe, then run." And just like that, Jalen took his first real step towards something more. Jalen's days were already long, but now his nights were even longer. After school, he bagged groceries until sundown. Then he ran, not on fancy tracks with lights and turf. He ran through cracked sidewalks, around broken fences, under flickering street lamps. Every stride came with a cost: sore legs, empty stomach, homework done by flashlight. But he never missed a run, because deep down, Jalen wasn't just chasing a race. He was chasing out of the struggle, out of the silence, out of the life where dreams were luxuries his family couldn't afford. The neighborhood noticed, but not always kindly. Some kids on the block teased him. "You trying to be the next Usain Bolt or something?" He laughed it off, but inside it stung. At school it got worse. Jalen's worn shoes and thrift store sweats stood out among athletes dressed in custom gear, and no one was louder than Logan Rivers, a star runner from a wealthy family. Logan was everything Jalen wasn't: rich, connected, and cocky. "Try not to embarrass yourself in front of real runners," he'd say, loud enough for everyone to hear. Jalen didn't respond. He didn't need to. He just ran harder. Coach Ramirez saw it all: the disrespect, the grind, the loneliness of trying to outrun expectations, but he didn't give sympathy. He gave Jalen tools, posture. Breathe through the pain. You run with your legs but win with your heart. Bit by bit, Jalen transformed. His stride tightened. His pace sharpened. He still got up before sunrise for newspaper routes. He still helped his sister with homework, but his lungs were stronger now, his will sharper than ever. And when the list came out for qualifiers for the state marathon, Jalen's name was printed in bold. He stared at it like it wasn't real. "We'll get you there," Coach said quietly, and he did. Coach Ramirez paid Jalen's registration fee himself. "Consider it an investment," he smiled. Word spread slowly through the neighborhood. One day, Jalen opened his locker to find a pair of high-performance socks. No note, just neatly folded. Another evening, the corner store clerk slipped him a new water bottle. "For training," she said with a wink. Someone even left a used but working smartwatch on his porch. The world wasn't cheering for him, but it was starting to whisper. And in that quiet, Jalen kept running. The day everyone's been waiting for finally arrives. It's race day. The energy in the air is electric, the crowd roaring with excitement, cheering on their favorite runners. Most of the competitors are dressed in top-tier gear, the latest shoes, the sleekest outfits, every inch of them designed for speed. Then there's Jalen. He stands there in his old, worn-out shoes and a borrowed hoodie, the only thing standing. Out is his determination. The noise around him feels distant, as if it's all happening in another world. He blocks it out. This race isn't about the flashy gear or the spotlight. This is his moment, his chance to prove something bigger. With the sound of the starting gun, everyone bursts forward, fast and furious. But Jalen, he's not in a hurry. He runs his own pace, steady, calm, focused. One step after another. He's been through the hard work. Now, he just needs to trust in the training, the sacrifice, the quiet hours he's put in, without the hype. The miles pass. One by one, he begins to pass other runners. Slowly but surely, he climbs the ranks. There's no rush. There's no arrogance in his movements, just pure, quiet determination. With every stride, he moves up, silently moving through the sea of competitors. Only one runner remains ahead of him, Emery, a strong, experienced runner from out of state, someone who's been dominating this race, her strides powerful and relentless. But Jalen, he's right on her heels. He doesn't chase her, he simply runs his race, and as if by fate, he starts closing the gap. One more mile, one more step, then something unexpected. Mile 24, Emery, just ahead, suddenly stumbles. Her feet falter, and without warning she collapses to the ground, her breath shallow, her body unresponsive. The crowd gasps. The race, it seems, is about to be decided. But Jalen sees only one thing. The finish line is so close, just a few more steps and he could claim victory. It's within reach, closer than he's ever been. But Jalen doesn't even hesitate. He turns around, his heart racing, but not with the thrill of victory. This time, it's a different kind of race. He rushes to her side. The panic in the air is thick, but a single medic is nearby, unsure of what to do. Without a second thought, Jalen bends down, lifting Emery into his arms, carrying her the way he's carried his own hopes and dreams in this race. He doesn't look back at the finish line. It's irrelevant now. His dream, the one he's worked for so long, suddenly takes a back seat. Jalen's not running for glory anymore. He's running to save a life. As he carries Emery to safety, the crowd's cheers fade away. For Jalen, the real victory isn't about crossing the finish line. It's about the choice he made to give up everything for a stranger in need. The race is over. The finish line has come and gone. Jalen crosses it, not first, not even second, seventh. He slows to a walk, his legs aching, his body drained. The crowd, once loud and full of energy, now feels distant. There's no cheering for him, no applause, not even a single clap. People stand in small groups, exchanging glances, whispering. He didn't have what it takes, they murmur. He could have won, but he gave up. Jalen hears the words, but they don't sink in. Not really. He's exhausted, his muscles sore, his chest heavy from the race, but it's the weight of something else that sits on him now. In the midst of the noise, one figure stands out. Coach Ramirez. Amidst the silence, the disappointment in the air, the coach simply gives Jalen a quiet nod, a small gesture, but one that carries more meaning than any trophy or applause ever could. There's pride in it. A silent acknowledgement of the choice Jalen made, even if the rest of the world doesn't understand it. Jalen doesn't need to hear the cheers. He doesn't need the recognition. As he leaves the race behind, he can feel the weight of the day's decision. It wasn't easy. The heartbreak of not finishing first, the disappointment that gnaws at him for giving up his dream. It's all there. But as he walks away, there's a quiet certainty that fills him. That night, Jalen returns home, physically drained, emotionally exhausted. He falls into bed without a word, without fanfare. The weight of everything he did that day lingers in the quiet stillness of his room. The disappointment of others fades into the background, but one thought remains clear in his heart. He knows he did the right thing. It wasn't about the race. It was never about the trophies or the glory. It was about something far more important. And that, for Jalen, is all that matters. 2 days pass. The world has returned to its routine, the memory of the race fading. But then one afternoon, something unexpected happens. A sleek black SUV pulls into Jalen's quiet neighborhood, its shiny exterior almost out of place among the modest homes. The engine cuts off and the doors open. First out is Emery, alive, well and stronger than before. She walks with her father, a towering figure, someone who carries the air of wealth and power. It's then that Jalen realizes who he's standing before. Emery's father is none other than a billionaire tech mogul, a name Jalen has seen in headlines but never imagined he'd meet. Emery approaches Jalen, her smile soft but genuine. "Thank you," she says, her voice full of gratitude. "If it weren't for you." Her words trail off, but the meaning is clear. She's alive, and it's because of his selfless choice. Her father steps forward, extending his hand. "You saved my daughter's life," he says, his voice steady yet filled with sincerity. "For that, we'll never forget what you've done. We owe you." Then he offers Jalen something more than just words, a full scholarship to a top private sports academy, an opportunity to train with the best, to shape his future in a way he'd never imagined. But it doesn't end there. He offers Jalen's mother a job, one that will change the course of her life. And then, a promise for Jalen's sister's medical bills, covered in full. All the struggles they'd faced, all the sacrifices, suddenly seem like they've been acknowledged. And just as the offer seems too good to be true, Coach Ramirez is pulled into the fold too. Jalen's mentor, his guide throughout the race, is offered a job as part of the academy's training staff. It's all so much to take in, but one thing is clear. Sometimes doing the right thing leads to rewards. There are more than just trophies. Jalen's life is forever changed. The scholarship, the opportunities, the support, everything falls into place. His living situation improves, his training intensifies, and he's surrounded by new resources that help him reach heights he once only dreamed of. But through it all, Jalen remains grounded. He keeps the old shoes, worn, beaten up, but full of memories, in a box under his bed. They're a reminder of where he started, of the long, hard journey that led him here. They symbolize the sacrifices, the lessons, and the choice he made that day to do the right thing. One afternoon, as Jalen walks through his neighborhood, he sees a young boy, barefoot, struggling to make his way home. Without a second thought, Jalen takes the box from under his bed and hands those old shoes to the boy. "You'll need these more than I do," he says with a smile. The story comes full circle. Not because Jalen crossed the finish line first, but because he chose to stop, to help, to make a difference when it mattered most. That, in the end, is what truly defines a winner.